Okay, so we're making a bookmark today. And I thought about this because personally my son has a hard time reading when it comes to like following the line along things. So I was like, okay, why can't you make a bookmark that acts like a twofer, like a bookmark, and then it also helps him read along with the lines. And so that's what my mind thought of. So you're gonna need some fabric tack glue if you don't have double-sided tape. I'm gonna be using my double-sided tape today, but if you don't have double-sided tape, you can use the fabric tack glue as well. All right, so this is self-drafted. Let me get my book that I actually was doing this with. This is the Cupcake Diaries book, and this is kind of like what I made it for. Pretty much the sizing. So for me, this particular size, I think this is pretty universal, but let me see. I cut 2 pieces of cork at 7 inches by 2 1/8 or 2 1/4. And that's what I did. So what I want to do is I'm going to stack my pieces together, and then I'm just going to clip them so that I can do my little window. So I'm going to stack them so I can make my window. So for the window, I want it to just be about 1 inch in from each end, so it's not too far out. And then at least 1 inch or 3/4 of an inch in from each side. So I'm just going to make those marks. I'm actually going to do it on the other side, so you guys can see. I'm gonna put you back down this way so that you can see what I'm working with. Oh, you can actually see me just fine right there, can you? Can you see what I'm doing down here, okay? Yeah. I'm gonna make a mark before I cut just so that I can make sure that it's what I like auditioning it wise. Okay, I think I'm gonna go 1/2 inch on each side. I'm just doing it this way just so I can be symmetrical. There you go. So what I did is, this is a piece of cork that is 2 inches by 7 inches. And then I came in 3/4 of an inch from each long edge and 1/2 inch from each end. And it's gonna look very familiar to anybody who does bag making. This is gonna look almost like a zipper overlay. So just so you know. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and cut out my little box. So when I do this, I just wanna make sure I go close to the end, but not through the other end, because I don't wanna overcut. So I stop about 1/4 of an inch before it ends on both sides. Like start it and then stop it. Just because sometimes a rotary cutter can just kind of keep going and slip a little far. Good morning. We're making a bookmark. I know it doesn't seem glamorous, but it's very functional, back to school type of thing. We had fun this morning, for sure. All right, so there we go. So now I've cut it. So this is 2 inches by 7 inches, and then I came in 3/4 of an inch on each side and 1/2 inch on this side, and it's double-sided. I haven't done anything to it yet. You're gonna need 2 scraps of either cork or vinyl, something that's self-healing that you don't have to worry about the raw edge, and then a piece of clear vinyl. And so I just wanted my vinyl to be long enough to go inside the window so it could fit inside the window. So what I'm doing, it looks like a zipper overlay, but what I'm doing is making it so that my son has a hard time like following along the line. So just to kind of go through and also act like a reading marker as well as a bookmark. So it's dual purpose. Don't throw these away because we're gonna use these for something else here in just a second. So I'm gonna use my double-sided tape. I'm gonna use the 1/4 inch first. No, actually I could just use the 1/2 inch on both sides. Let me see. I'm gonna be okay. So just like that, 2 strips of double-sided tape. I'm gonna pull my. It sounds so quiet when the kids are actually quiet in the other room. It's like, are they okay? And then you're just going to put the plastic overlay just literally right over it and just put it down. So now you got a clear piece. All right, and then you're going to take your other piece, line it up, put it right on top. So just like that. Okay, I'm going to burn my edges. I'm going to clean these up anyway, but just in case. All right, so I did that. So before I go too far, I'm gonna use one of these two as like a little extra from the top. You know how bookmarks have that little thing that flaps out? I think a piece of ribbon would probably be better, but I don't know if I should loop it and make it so that it could also like get caught on like a keychain thing or something. Wish it was almost like a tassel. There we go. Looks like a little tassel, kind of. All right, and we'll just put that in on one end. So this is a great scrap buster for any cork or vinyl, any self-healing thing that you have. All right, so let's just sew it up. So I did it for this book, and I'll show you if you have a larger book how you can make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go around the clear vinyl first, and then we can go on the outside. And this is where you could burn your ends because you can't really pull them through to one side because it's double-sided. Yeah, that's cute. Now I'm gonna go around the outside. That. They did homeschooling on the road today since I had several appointments today. That's it. That's a bookmark. I know that was quick, right? I'm gonna make another one just so you guys can see what my method of madness was to. I'm gonna clean this one up and how to make it in case you have a bigger book. But trim the edges, make it look nice. You can edge paint too. I would totally edge paint if I can get my thing open because I can't ever get that thing open. It's like it seals, like air seals. Because open this for me. Boom. Edge paint tool. All right. I'm gonna go get some Vaseline. Take Shinova's advice and put some Vaseline on it. There we go. Now we're gonna edge paint. All right. So we're gonna let that set and dry. Okay, we're gonna take this and set it aside to let it dry. Bam. Okay, I'm not closing this all the way. Just a couple turns so it doesn't turn over on me. Okay, so if you have a larger book than this one, this is a pretty standard size book, but if you have a longer book, like a novel or something like that, and you're wanting it. All right, so if you have a larger book than this, then you would just take the measurement of the book, and then I would say make it at least 2 inches shorter. But the biggest thing is when it's being open like this, so that the window can kind of go through and they can see the things. So I don't know, maybe that window's a little too big. I'm gonna make another one and make it with a smaller window. Why not? All right, so you know yesterday I had this left over from the binder one, where I had that left over from it. So I'm gonna use this one as my scrap and just use double-sided, same thing. Just gonna use the length of it. So why not, right? we got 2 done in 45 minutes. So this one here is 8.5 inches. Yep, and this one's 7 inches by 2 inches. This is still 2 inches, but the center window is only 1/4 of an inch versus this one's more like 1/2 inch. Maybe, yeah, this one's more like 1/2 inch. So this is what we did today. So this one I did with the little tassel looking thing. I'm not too crazy about that. I mean, I don't like that idea, but I like this one here. And maybe riveting a piece of ribbon or something when I find a good piece of ribbon that I like, because I don't like that. But yeah, I'm gonna keep letting this one dry for a little longer, and then I'm gonna probably edge coat it a couple more times and then put the little glossy kind that I have for it. She gave me sandpaper. They are cute, aren't they? I like it because it helps with kids who have trouble following the line when reading like chapter books. Like my son's just getting into chapter books, so if I was doing like this, you know, it's very easy to just go through and just go one line at a time. Or I like this one because this one really helps just one line at a time kind of thing, versus this one would be more like 2 or 3 lines at a time. So this one would be great if it were more like picture books with the big words and stuff, right? So this would be more of a sentence for those books. I don't have any of those books with me today. But this one's great for like one-liners, so they can take it and they can read along. It's super easy. And this piece of vinyl was the vinyl that I used for this centerpiece. See that? So no waste, no fuss, no muss. Look at that. Super easy. And it's the same vinyl. You can give it to them as a pair. Just slap this bad boy in there. Boom. Have that as a little set to give to someone. That'd be so cute. I love it. I love it. All right, I think that's pretty much it, guys. Didn't have too long to go today, but I got 2 for. I got this one and I'm like, didn't quite like it. That's why I made the second one, and the second one turned out perfect in my opinion. Alright guys, thank you so much for staying with me and staying tuned with me while I make these cute bookmark and reading markers. I'll put the dimensions and stuff like that in the description, or maybe I'll make a quick little pattern for it and put it as a freebie on my website so you guys can have that. You're welcome anytime. Have fun catching up with Captain's Log. And at the last 5 minutes, I think, is when I talk about doing something with those. I don't like to say the GAW, yeah, word, because then, you know, trolls and computers and stuff like that start really going at things. Alright guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Tomorrow is Friday. It's the last day for our back to school free pattern sewing projects thing, and I think we're gonna make like just a simple little book tote, just a simple cotton book tote, and that way they can have that for when they're taking books out of the library. It folds up really nicely in their backpacks, and then it pops open and they can take it with them. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I'll see you guys tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or whatever time that is for you. Bye, Melissa. Have a great day. Bye.